Driving a car with your eyes closed and then blaming the road for not steering the car in the right direction is pretty low IQ. I'm sure you could agree with me on that. However, a lot of people live their lives like that. Once you actually open your eyes, grab the steering wheel, and realize that you were actually in control the entire time and just drive the car down the road you want to go. It's not something crazy to understand. And this is something a lot of people need to actually realize. Now, a lot of people might understand this concept, but they don't actually realize it in their brain. They don't actually it doesn't click, right? And unfortunately, this is kind of how the modern world is already. When something goes wrong, what's the first thing we do? We externalize the blame. So it's never our fault. We point fingers to someone else. We blame the environment or the external factor over there, or my boss, or the government or the world, or whatever it is. We blame the external parts of the world or the things around us, but we don't actually take accountability for it ourselves, which every time you do that, you throw a lot of the power away from yourself. And I used to do this quite a lot myself. I would complain about, the world is everything's plastic, our water supply has plastics and there's plastics everywhere. So it's destroying our testosterone and there's all these endocrine disruptors and all this sort of stuff that's causing my testosterone to be low. And that's why I have low testosterone. But I didn't actually sit down and think, oh wait, sure, yeah, the world's got all these things that are potentially bad for our testosterone, which I'm sure it is. But I didn't actually think, okay, well, let me just sit down and think, well, what can I do about it? What can I do in order to get high testosterone, solve the issue? But I didn't. I just stuck. I'm like, oh no, it's the world's fault, government's fault for not trying to get plastic out of everyone's lives. It's the company's fault that makes plastic. It's all these people, they make clothes out of polyester and it's shredding microplastics into your skin and disrupting your hormones. But I didn't think, oh, well, what if I thought about it in the way of how can I solve and avoid all these issues myself, instead of just accepting them that that's how my life's going to be. Stop wearing polyester clothes, stop drinking tap water, stop doing all the other bad, things like eating food out of plastic containers and drinking bottles of water and coffees in the cups, the plastic cups. I didn't think about all these things up until I thought, well, okay, it's my fault for having succumbed to these things that are in the modern world. What can I do to avoid it? What can I do to solve this issue? And that is literally what made me become unstuck and actually shift my mindset. And this is really what it's about. Transitioning the ownership to yourself instead of other people or the external world having ownership over your life, and changing the kind of mindset. You kind of have to flip from being in victim mode to control mode, having control over your life. So ultimately asking yourself, what can I do better? What can I fix? That's when everything can really change. And you might think, oh yeah, this is common sense. Oh, of course, yeah, people are gonna think of this, and this isn't nothing new. And of course there's nothing new, but it's something that people need to be reminded of, because you can get into a season or a habit of just kind of letting life take you wherever. Again, closing your eyes and just letting the road take you wherever. And sometimes if you drive with your eyes closed, hands off the steering wheel, accelerator to the floor, you're going to wrap yourself around a tree sooner or later. This is why hard things actually matter. So discipline and self-growth and all this sort of thing. So pushing yourself to do hard things like going to the gym, waking up early, fixing habits that like are currently bad in your life or that need to be fixed. It's training your ownership of your life, training your brain. It's like a mental muscle that you have to train. Like, this is on me and I have to do this. I have to take control. What can I do to fix this? This is what I have to do. And then actually doing it. So if you struggle to wake up early, or you struggle to be motivated in the morning, or you stay on your phone while you're in bed as soon as you wake up, well, what can you do? Do the hard thing. Wake up early. You wake up early, it's instantly going to set that tone for a productive day, and actually not being led into the bad habits or succumbing to those bad habits. And it is really just training that mental muscle in your brain to be able to do hard things easier, which will then in turn make you do more of the hard habits, because then it becomes easier. It's like progressive overloading in the gym, right? You do a certain weight, eventually over time it'll get lighter and lighter and easier to do it. So then you have to progressively overload, go heavier, and then eventually, as you keep going, your life, you level up. So when you take accountability, you stop blaming the external factors and actually allowing yourself to take control of your life and actually grab the steering wheel and drive down the road where you need to go to get to your destination. It's really not that hard. You have to kind of stop waiting for change. Stop waiting for your life to make a change for you. You have to become the change. You have to order the change. You have to make the change happen. So you're not powerless. You just haven't owned that power yet. You haven't realized and unlocked that mindset of, well, I don't like the way this is going, so what am I going to do to fix that? What can I do? Instead of going, it is what it is. Like, that's how the world is. Like, this company did this, and those people did that to me, so that's why my parents did this to me, so that's why I have this mental trauma, and there's nothing I can do, so I'm just gonna live through it, and that'll be it. No, you need to sit down, figure out what it is that you can do to improve that and fix it. It's not that hard. So you are literally the cause of your problems, but what that also means is you are the solution.